That $5 oil filter you think you got for a bargain causes a collapse, starves your bearings, and it turns a healthy engine into scrap before you reach the end of your journey. All while everything still sounds normal and nothing on the dash tells you to pull over. Today, I'm going to reveal the oil change mistakes that drivers make that easily scrap thousands of miles off their engines before they realize anything's wrong. Let's kick things off with using cheap and low-quality filters prone to internal collapse. Now, you might argue that they all look the same from the outside, so they all gotta perform the same. Well, they might all look like just a metal canister with threads, but the truth is way deeper than that. That $3 or $5 difference could turn out to be a ticking time bomb sitting on your engine block. The reason is simple. These cheap oil filters use inferior quality materials like plastic. You know, the stuff that melts under heat. Oh, to add on to that, they also have cardboard end discs that can't withstand long service intervals, repeated shocks, vibrations, or thermal cycles. Yeah, the moment they're subjected to engine heat, oil pressure, and constant vibration, they start breaking down. Now, this is where things can go south pretty fast. A collapsed center tube or element can lead to a loss of filtration and oil flow to the engine, with the possibility that interior parts of the filter or filter media may be physically displaced and could even migrate into the full system. Now, this is why filter quality matters just as much as oil quality does. Reputable filters use reinforced media, proper end caps, and pressure-tested designs that maintain their shape under stress. Cutting corners here does way more than just shorten your oil life. It shortens your engine life. The couple bucks you might think you're saving could easily cost you an entire engine tomorrow. Now on to mistake number 2, which is a pretty big deal because everybody's guilty of it at some point. A lot of drivers trust the oil change interval printed on the manual as if it applies to every single situation. But hey, there's a catch to all of these. Those numbers are calculated under ideal conditions. We're talking about perfect temperatures, smooth highway cruising, zero dust, and no heavy loads. You know, basically a scenario that almost none of us ever actually drive in. Over here in reality, in the real world, oil tends to break down faster than outlined in your manual. Now, that basically means that if you're following the normal schedule, there's a good chance that it's just a matter of time before your engine gives out. So what exactly counts as severe driving? First, short trips under 10 miles where your engine never fully warms up. That's pretty severe. See, your engine needs to hit full operating temperature to burn off moisture and fuel contamination that seeps into the oil. So when you're just running errands around town, that never actually happens. The oil accumulates acids and sludge that break it down faster than the manufacturer expects it to. There's also all the stop-and-go traffic, where constant idling and low-speed movement create more heat cycles and more stress on the oil. Dusty environments like rural roads, construction zones, and dry climates, that also accelerates the degradation of the oil. And the scary part is that you can't see this breakdown just by checking the dipstick. So what's safer? Stick to 5,000 to 7,000 miles, especially for mixed driving. And if you're doing short trips or extreme weather all the time, I'd say drop it even lower, maybe around 4,000 or 5,000. Alright, let's talk about forgetting to reset your oil life monitor after you change your oil. Now, this mistake might seem pretty harmless, but in reality, it can easily mess up the entire maintenance routine and dent your wallet significantly. Now, some of you might be asking, what the hell is an oil life monitor? Well, that's a computer that continuously monitors the vehicle's engine operating conditions, and then uses that data to determine when to change your oil, automatically adjusting the oil change interval based on engine characteristics, driving habits, and climate. Now, the real problem starts when you fail to reset the oil life monitor after an oil change, as it's not going to know that you changed the oil. Your entire maintenance schedule gets thrown off. You might change your oil at 5,000 miles, forget to reset the monitor, and then when it finally alerts you at what it thinks is 10,000 miles, you're actually at 15,000 miles on that oil. Now, needless to say, that's way past the optimal range. It means your engine has been running on degraded oil for thousands of miles without you even realizing it. Resetting the oil life monitor takes less than a minute, yet it keeps your maintenance schedule honest and reliable. It ensures that reminders appear when they're actually needed, not randomly or based off of old information. Without that reset, you're essentially flying blind, and it's now a matter of when and not if you find yourself spending thousands of dollars in repairs or overhauls. Thanks for keeping us company and all this. Now's the perfect time for y'all to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any new care videos we drop. Alright, back to the video, because up next we're looking at a mistake that sneaks up on more people than you would actually think. A surprising number of people change their oil but leave the same old filter in place, and that simple decision can undo the entire oil change in just minutes. See, the moment fresh oil flows through an old filter, it immediately picks up everything that filter's been holding on to. From tiny bits of metal from normal wear and tear to carbon deposits from combustion, leftover sludge and dirt that slipped past the air intake and all kinds of stuff. And guess what? All that contamination goes right back into circulation, cutting down the oil's ability to protect the engine. And it gets even worse. A used filter doesn't trap particles as effectively, and once it starts clogging up, it can actually restrict oil flow. Reduced fuel flow means reduced pressure, and in turn that means some engine parts may not get enough oil at the right time. For an engine that relies on steady lubrication to survive, this is a dangerous gamble that could lead to a catastrophic failure. Now you might be asking, what's the fix? It's pretty simple. Always replace the filter every single time you change your oil without fail. And make sure you use a quality filter from a reputable brand that's the correct size and rating for your specific engine. And the thing is, oil filters aren't even that expensive. We're talking maybe 10, 15, 20 bucks. Oh, but the engine damage from skipping this step could easily shoot to thousands upon thousands of dollars. So just make the smart choice and avoid being a victim of this particular mistake. Alright, great. You just changed your oil, everything's buttoned up, and you fire up the engine. So what do most people do next? They immediately back out of the driveway and they hit the road. Some folks even rev the engine to check if everything sounds good, vroom vroom. Now that's a big mistake. But the thing is, new oil doesn't instantly coat every single surface the moment that it's poured in. See, it needs a couple seconds to travel through the oil pump. It's got to fill every channel and it's got to build proper pressure before the engine can safely handle any stress. So what does immediate pedal to the metal do? Well, it causes moving parts to glide without the full protective barrier in place. Metal components can momentarily scrape against each other, creating friction and tiny amounts of wear that add up over time. So to fix that, simply start the engine and let it idle for about 20 to 30 seconds after an oil change. Doing this allows the oil to circulate completely and reach all the critical areas. It's also a good opportunity to check for leaks and avoid further damage that might come as a result of that. Neglecting this step may seem insignificant, but it's one of those silent mistakes that quietly chips away at your engine's longevity. Avoiding these oil mistakes keeps your engine running longer, smoother, and with fewer costly repairs. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips to keep your car running like new for longer.